keep in mind now those beautiful concluding thoughts we have. We have one that says, it's really reassuring to be reminded again that we're all in this together and that we all have a great deal of knowledge that we must put to use to solve the challenges that we have. We are reassured again of how important it is that we're not alone. We're not alone as educators, and we're not alone as social workers, we're not alone as audiologists or any other, but we need all of us working together in a multidisciplinary manner and do our very best to collaborate and work together to solve the challenges that are really, really real. Other thoughts, concluding thoughts. Make a list of these because they're really very, very, very profound. Other thoughts that, yes?
I think looking at another source for data, being a student who does not attend in my math class, I already know that because, we can get through, say, 6 parts in this program and they are still at number 1. So I already have data there, and before I would probably try to fit that into another little chart, but really, if everyone's completing, 10 parts, and they've only done 2, that can be some baseline data to use, and chart different things after intervention.
Yes. And you might also start really thinking sometimes when you start taking data, actually, you get to realize, something, it's a lot different than I expected. It might not be as serious a problem as you thought it was. That could happen. Or the other way around, that it's actually more problems going on than I even realized. It's possible that there are some peers in there not even doing as well either. Oh my goodness, I never realized that one. So it's actually more complicated than you thought. So the other can happen as well, that when I started noticing, it's actually only about 2 minutes the child is so off task. Or it's only twice he gets up off his seat. I thought he was up off his seat all the time. So either way, until you take data, you don't really know. It's kind of like us going to the mall and we think we have $400 to buy a pair of shoes. Who would do that anyway? But you think you have $400 in your checking account, and oh my goodness, I never did my subtraction the last time. Oh my goodness. So unless you have data, you really don't know for sure. Isn't that true? Either good news or bad news. It could be possible that you actually have 1,400 in your checking, but you haven't done the calculation to find out one way or another, So other data sources to help you understand the extent of the problem and even what is the problem, So, and then of course, collaborating with multidisciplinary could even help you understand why is this child engaged in this kind of behavior, and maybe there are reasons that would explain it. Other thoughts as you kind of end the day here?
I think it's very easy when you are the one that's involved in this that you don't see change as happening because it's so gradual sometimes, and data can really show you, 3 months ago this was happening, but look at where the student is now. And again, when you work with somebody every day and ongoing, it's very difficult to see progress.
It's so true.
It'll show you you're doing okay.
Ongoing data collection, and also, ongoing showing throughout a year and another year, and sometimes it may take 3 years. And in 3rd grade it didn't click, and in 4th grade it didn't click, and finally 5th and 6th we're seeing some kind of brighter situation. That can happen. So ongoing data, and therefore the notion of portfolios are so wonderful for that kind of reason, and then any other imaginable kind of data that you're keeping on records, of spelling and math and social studies and reading and attendance is another one. We have loads of data. It's not like we don't have information, and these days when schools are using things like Access, does anybody use Access to analyze data, huge data repositories, using your Access data? Does anybody in here do that, I wonder, in your school? There is data entry. There's so many beautiful software programs, including Access, by the way, which could take hundreds of data. Rather, you put it, tell it how many children were late today. And that you could ask your database, how many children were late today? 53. And then how many children were late today who are in 1st grade? 12, or such things. So Access is an amazing data management program. So we have loads of data, and it's a matter of how do we use it for good decision making, database decision making. So, and you see ongoing progress, and sometimes it takes a year and another year and another year, and finally you start seeing. Other thoughts? Other thoughts on our whole data generation, being flexible with the methods you're using. I trust that, having all these beautiful, both qualitative and quantitative methods at your fingertips, that you can indeed be watching and observing and making sense and interpreting and evaluating as you go along, okay? Sorry, I'm going backwards again now. So the education and welfare of the children and adolescents that we meet are indeed our huge, huge and central focus, right? All together in this room and beyond, and all your colleagues. So that's, their needs are what guides you, And then behavior leads you on your way. You're going to be doing it as part of your routine. And you're doing it sometimes unconsciously, right? But you treat your information as ongoing data, and then facilitate the interpretation and analysis of the information you have. Don't ever forget that you have many, both formal and informal methods, and we talked today mostly about those informal methods that we will be using. And then database decision making is indeed essential in our program development and program evaluation. So now, behavior is communication. I hope everybody made that as clear as can be as we go through our routines as educators and as in our varied roles as social workers, school psychologists, in varied roles. What is this child telling me by doing this? There is a message. It's a matter of trying to figure out what it is. And then using behaviors, what they're doing, they're telling us things. And what are they saying is our task. Not just kind of knee-jerk reacting to them and, punishing or anything like that unless we fully understand what it is that they're doing. And then what do we do so we can figure out, we can maybe get more additional data. We can talk to people who know the child. We observe the child in different environments. And we keep studying it until you make some kind of sense of what it is that's being communicated, Even the child themselves, don't ever hesitate. As far as I'm concerned, the child might be your very excellent data source. Why is it that math is so hard? Sometimes in between the lines they're actually giving you the answer. Why is it that playtime or lunchtime or hall time or whatever it is causing you so much trouble? So they'll tell you sometimes very clearly because they know, right? And then thank you so much for your attention today, and I'll be here. If you in any way want to find me, there's where I am, not so far from you here, about 2 hours away from you. And I'm going to stay around for a while, and don't hesitate to let me know if I can be of assistance. Okay? Thank you, and good luck to you in your good work.